Happy Friday, guys. I hope you're having an awesome day so far. I'm not sure whether all of you have seen the video that I put in the group a couple of days ago, talking about how I've sort of made a major decision and decided to change direction a little bit, or quite a lot actually, and it's way more in line what I'm really passionate about. I'm going to continue to build my personal brand, but I'm looking forward to taking this journey down another road, if you like. And I wanted to share the journey with you, especially the startup phase, because as you've heard me talk about many times, it's so important to note that there's a process, you know, and there's step one through till six. It doesn't matter what platform you're promoting on, whether it be YouTube, Instagram, whether it be a website, it does not matter, but it's imperative, I believe, that you take these six steps. And so I'll share my screen with you and we'll get the party started. And here we go. That's right. So this is what I've been working on. Once again, the six steps. So step one is know your vision, what you want to build and why. And I think it's important that you know who you're promoting to. Step two is once you've completed step one, you can then go and create your brand because you know what your brands are going to be about. So you can't skip and go directly to step two or three or whatever. You can't go from, oh, let's start try to create traffic without having a conversion system in place, without knowing what you're selling, without a brand, and of course, without that vision, which where it all starts. So I've really enjoyed the journey um, over the last 12, 18 months building my personal brand. Um, it's been a tremendous experience. I think it played a huge role in where I'm at right now. But, you know, whilst I love teaching people how to create brands and monetize their brands, it's something that I'm very passionate about. But I'm also felt a bit of a calling, if you like, to making a change and be a voice in this crazy world that we live in. I don't want to come across as being a conspiracy theorist, but I will say this: I think that we've just been lied to the point where it's become ridiculous. So let me share what I've got in mind. So I had to do a lot of soul searching when it came to really thinking about what this brand was going to be all about. Um, and and I started it just sort of casually a few months ago, really, just to be honest with you, just to sort of have a voice or be a bit of a voice in this crazy world. And the route that I took at that time is different to the route that I'm taking now. But I just wanted to share that with you. So I sort of figured out my vision, and once I'd figured out my vision, I could then continue on to the brand. So my brand is called the Outthinkers. This is the logo. Now I created this logo in Midjourney, and which you can do too, I guess. It is a little bit sort of tricky, but like with all AI, it's what you put in. What you put in is what you're going to get back out. Now, I love this logo because it represents people having a voice, in my humble opinion. And the only fault with this, which is to keep in mind with this logo, is it's sort of a bit complicated for some printing. I actually sent this off to my embroidery people the other day, asking them if they could uh, embroider a hat or a logo on the hat, and they come back and said no. So I was sort of semi-expecting that, but that would be very easy to recreate in a more simplified version that could be used on embroidery. So I just wanted to mention that. So once again, we call ourselves the Outthinkers. Our slogan is Awaken, Connect, Empower. Who are we? So I'll read through a bit of this, and the Outthinkers is an alternative media company dedicated to empowering individuals to awaken and liberate themselves from societal constraints. As a conduit between groundbreaking experts and community eager for truth, we provide a platform for enlightenment and independence through education and connection. So I'll continue on here. We challenge the status quo and support our members in their journey towards personal growth and self-realization. What we represent. At the Outthinkers, we are committed to upholding the values of freedom, enlightenment, and community engagement. We represent a movement away from the conventional media narratives, offering instead a space where independent thinking and alternative perspectives flourish. Our content not only informs, but also inspires action and critical thinking, making us a unique voice in the media landscape. Our core offerings is educational content. We produce thought-provoking articles, enlightening videos, in-depth podcasts that delve into the topics essential for the personal and collective awakening. Interactive workshops and webinars. Now, it's to note that we're not going to start off with all this stuff, but I'll talk about that in a minute. Our sessions will be and are designed to foster learning, discussion, facilitating connections, and between leading experts and our community members who are seeking to transcend traditional boundaries. I want to build a community-type platform when we can interact. That'll be on a Telegram group to begin with. And how will we? This is important. So, expert conduits. We bridge the gap between experts in various fields and those who are thirsty for knowledge and truth, ensuring that our community receives the most creditable and transformative information. So, the bulk of my content initially will be interviewing people that can provide value, who are authentic and genuine. And that will be the bulk of my content to begin with. And I'll reutilize the content. I'll show you how. I'll talk about that in a minute. Our values: freedom. We are champions of intellectual, physical, and spiritual freedom. Enlightenment. We are dedicated to the pursuit of knowledge and self-discovery. Community. We believe in the power of connection and the strength of collective support. Innovation. We are committed to pioneering new ways to engage, educate, inspire, and our audience. So our promise, the Outthinkers is your ally in breaking free from the matrix, providing guidance, resources, and community that supports your journey to enlightenment and independence. Join us to explore groundbreaking ideas, uncover deeper truths, and engage with a network of thinkers who are dedicated to living life on their terms, on their own terms. We are aligning with it. By aligning with the Outthinkers, you join a movement of individuals who are not just questioning the world around them, but also actively shaping a new reality. So that's how I see the Outthinkers. That's my vision. So consequently, I can now go on to creating a brand. And having said that, I had created this logo prior, but it always sort of really resonated with me, and it resonates to my vision. I believe in that we want to speak up. It's not just one microphone there, so it's not just about me. We want to align ourselves with others and collaborate with others, and we call ourselves the Outthinkers. So the brand, this is an example of a brand kit, which everybody should have done if they've been through step 1 and 2. So these are my primary colors based on the logo. This is my heading title and font. So you'll see down here, I know what my fonts are. So this one is Calistoga, which is for all the headlines. Note that it does upper and lower case, which I think is important. And throughout all the body text, we'll use a font called Roboto, which now both these fonts are Google fonts, web-based fonts, which is important. And I think when choosing a font, the headline font, I think somehow in your mind at least needs to align with what your brand is. And with regards to the body fonts, or back to the headline, I think you need to have an uppercase and lowercase, and it needs to look right. Prior to choosing this one, I must have had 20 fonts on this page. And you do that by just going to Google Docs. That's how I did it in this instance. and just went through and looked at fonts for a few hours. So my body text fonts are Roboto, like I said. It's important in this instance that they be uppercase, lowercase, and also be able to be bold. Some fonts, or a lot of fonts, aren't able to do all three things. Likewise, even some of the headline fonts are just capitals. My tagline for the Outthinkers is awaken, connect, empower. And our slogan is awaken to the truth, education is our freedom. So this is the Outthinkers detailed content strategy and plan. So my vision and brand voice is empowering individuals to awaken and break free from societal control. And our mission is to provide valuable resources, education, and connections to support individuals in their journey towards enlightenment and independence from the matrix. Now, before we go on, I just wanted to talk about what I've accomplished over the last 18 months and my personal brand. I mean, if I'm being brutally honest, and transparent, which I want to be throughout this whole process, like I said earlier, I love helping people create brands and teach people how to monetize brands. And, and I think especially, well, if you want, it doesn't matter whether it's for a business or you just want to get your voice out there and be heard for some reason. It's so important that you know what your brand is, but you can't know what your brand is until you know your vision. Now, back to AndrewPlimmer.com, Andrew Plimmer brand. There was something just there that was, I think it's more so because of the times that we're going through. If we weren't going through these times like we are at the moment, where the world's gone a bit crazy, I'd say I would have continued on with the Andrew Plimmer brand, because I might not have felt that there was a need for what I'm hoping to build here in the Outthinkers. But there was always just something there that just, I always wanted to create my personal brand, but there was something there that sort of, I was excited for a long time, and I still am excited about it. I have no regrets. I'm pleased that I built it, and I'm going to continue to promote that brand. But I just had a calling. That's probably the best way to explain it. I felt that I needed to be a voice. I'd seen a lot of people on the alt media world of late out there doing their thing, and they've been so brave to stand up the way they have, in my humble opinion. And they're calling for more voices. And I was sort of thinking, well, how can I do this? How can I do this that's going to allow me to speak up and speak the truth and be able to say what I want to say without being deplatformed, and at the same time also sort of be seen on the mainstream platforms without being kicked off. So I think I've come up with a solution, and I want to share that with you. And this is obviously not applicable necessarily to your brand. It's just that I want to be a voice and on the other side of mainstream media, if you like. So Outthinkers.com is not available. I did register at Outthinkers.co, but no, I sort of wanted to keep everything uniform, so I've decided to go with Outthinkermedia.com. And so I've sort of created, for the most part, all my socials and everything, and I'm sort of working around that. So once you register that, or prior to registering your domain name, so you know your vision, you know your brand, you know what you want to register, it's available. You've checked all the social media platforms to make sure it's available there also. I then went and registered a Gmail account, outthinkermedia@gmail.com. And that then I could have registered the domain name and with my own email address and that sort of stuff, but I wanted to do it separately. So I then registered my website, and so I'm registering all my social medias with this Gmail account. But down the track, I'll change it to social@outthinkermedia.com. So I'll change all the email addresses within social media. Why? Because I own this domain name. It's mine. It can't be taken away from me. It doesn't happen very often, but every now and again, recently I'd registered a Gmail account, and for some reason it was just instantly banned just after I'd registered a a social handle on Twitter, and which so you got to. I don't know why. Sometimes you just don't know why, but the reason down the track, absolutely, I'll be changing the email address within my social media handles to social@outthinkermedia.com. So these are my social media social handles that I've registered so far. So I got Facebook, YouTube, obviously Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Now I haven't this one. I've got to change the name yet, but I may or may not. Outthinker Media. But I do want to have everything aligned, so I will go through at some stage and change these so that everything is Outthinker Media. And there'll be times, I guess, where I might not be able to get it, and there's always a way around that. So I then went on to brand identity, logo, and tagline. Design a logo that symbolizes awakening, freedom. Tagline: awaken, connect, empower. And I believe, in my mind at least, that's what my logo does. Now, bear in mind, all of what I'm showing you here isn't necessarily set in concrete. And as I go through this, I'll probably find things that I want to change. But for now, for me, it's a frigging good start. So I'd also like to add that this took me, I think, 4 days to do. Not 8 or 10 hours a day, admittedly, but a lot of thought process, a lot of walking away and doing some soul searching and coming back to the computer. So brand colors, sage shades of blue, red, and white on a background to evoke freedom. It sort of works for me. I sort of created the logo. I created the logo with AI. I asked for a colorful, vibrant logo. I can't remember the prompt, but that's what it spat out. I spat out lots, and I finally chose this one, the one I showed you earlier with the 3 microphones. So slogan: awaken to truth, education is freedom. I'm not sure whether that's really a slogan, but once again, like I said, nothing. I like this. I certainly like education is freedom. I truly believe that. Like in another brand, I use education is our best doctor. So my target audience, once again, this could change, but this is where I'm at right now. Individuals seeking personal growth and enlightenment, people interested in alternative education, self-empowerment, and independent thinking. Those distancing themselves from the conventional societal norms, individuals aiming to connect with like-minded people on a similar awakening journey, those learning to live outside the matrix with time and location freedom. Now, I know who my avatars are. It's a much broader avatar than I had with Andrew Plimmer. If you heard me talk about my avatar over there, my ideal avatar was his name was Bill, I think I called him. He's sort of between 50 and sort of 65, bit of a knockabout, sort of a bloke, blah, blah, blah. And funnily enough, those were the people that I attracted. So in this instance, I'm looking to attract people that are on the awakening journey. I hope to attract people that are also awake. And I think because of how I've worded and because of my vision and my target audience, those are the types of people that I will attract. The people that are a little bit left of field and can see that something's not right in this crazy world. And I wish to build a community and a source of information about that. So those learning to live outside the matrix with time and location freedom. Individuals interested in sustainable practices like growing, storing, and preserving food. Crypto enthusiasts seeking to use cryptocurrency as a store of value and a trade mechanism. So these are my core offerings. Now, once again, I'm not going to start with everything. It'll be a process, but this is where I want to go. And it's a fantastic feeling knowing where you're going. And so my core offerings are content and resources, articles, videos, and podcasts focusing on awakening, independent thinking, and personal growth. Workshops and webinars, educational sessions led by various experts and fields related to enlightenment and independence, community platform, and interactive online space for members to connect, share experience, and support others, support each other. Partnerships, collaborations with businesses and individuals who align with our vision to provide valuable services. So out of the next step is content strategy. So So this is my weekly content strategy. So our weekly interviews, conduct 3 one-hour interviews with influencers and educators at the end at each week. Repurpose content, generate 21 to 21 stories and shorts from each set of interviews. Blog posts, publish 3 weekly blog posts based on interview insights and relevant topics. Live sessions, regular live sessions to actively engage in the community. Outsource it out. So yeah, so I'm not necessarily straight away, but I'd like to outsource somebody that can do my video editing and also have a personal assistant to manage appointments and schedules and content opportunities. Now, if I were to do that, obviously you can do it on a part-time basis if you feel the need when you get going. On a full-time basis, and if you engage somebody from the Philippines, you're looking at about $1,000 a month. So, which is, obviously by comparison to employing somebody here, it's very reasonable. Now, so out of these one-hour interviews, I believe I'll get the bulk of my content. So my goal is to interview 3 people, 1-hour interview each per week. And I haven't mentioned it here, but because I'm looking for I'll be looking for additional content out. So let's say the interview is quite sort of, let's say if I put that interview up onto YouTube, and knowing that it's going to get taken down, or if I'm going to get a strike, I don't want to do that. I still want to publish it, and I'll show you where I'm going to publish it. But at the end of each interview, I'll probably do it'll be agreed upon with the interviewee that I would sort of chat for 15 minutes and just sort of play around and ask a few silly questions and that sort of stuff for additional content that we can use and repurpose on other platforms. So this is where repurposing it comes in. There's a mistake there. I 21 reels and stories and shorts each week of would be fine, more than adequate. Blog posts, 3 weekly blog posts based on interview insights and relevant topics. So what I would do is if I did a interview, let's say, with a naturopath or whatever it might be, I can create a blog post around that interview and post that on the website with the video embedded into the blog post. So we talked. So that's where I hope to be somewhere down the track unless I start part-time. And like I said, it's about $1,000 to engage somebody. And the other thing I'd like to point out there too, and this is why this document I think is so important, and that you go through the 6 steps, because if I engage the services of somebody, let's say a PA in the Philippines, I can then send them this information, and they're going to have a fantastic insight into what I'm all about. I've started many businesses over the years, and one of my biggest mistakes truly is I didn't share my vision. And of course, that meant my staff at the time were running blind. So it's so it's really a good idea to get this down for many reasons, including for yourself. So content types, interviews 3 times weekly, 1-hour duration plus 15 minutes discussion. Here we go. Tailored for mainstream social media and video and audio formats featuring relevant influencers and educators. Now, obviously, I'm just kicking off. I'd like to think that some of the high-profile alt media personalities would consider an interview with me in my early days, but it's likely that they probably wouldn't because I'm not there yet. I haven't got the traction. So that being the case, the beautiful thing about what I'm proposing here is I've already spoken to people, local people that are on the same side of the fence, people that I respect and appreciate, and I've asked them if they'd do a video, and not one person has said no yet. So I won't be doing videos in person to begin with. It'll be always, which I'll be using a software app called StreamYard, and so I can stream it out there and record it, of course, across many platforms. So pretty exciting. B, reels and stories, 21 reels and stories, shorts weekly, highlighting key moments and insights from the interviews, sharing across Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, shorts, and alternative media channels. C, blog posts, three per week, covering deep dives, practical advice, and community stories optimized for search engines. So that's important. I've just search engine optimization is important if you want to be seen on the likes of Google and that sort of stuff. Live sessions, weekly interactive sessions in various formats to foster engagement and discussion. So all this isn't necessarily going to happen at once. I've got a lot on my plate at the moment, but I do hope to sort of Friday this week, into next week, I'd like to have at least done my first interview. So by doing this also, it sort of holds you to task as well. I mean, this is new for me, so I'm once again having to step outside of my comfort zone. Of course, I've interviewed people before, but there's no question that interviewing is a skill set to do it properly. So I might do a couple of runs with people that I know, and whether I record them or post them, that's another story. But of course, you can always, I guess, stop an interview and start again if you make a mistake and sort of get the right. You can always edit a video, but I'm not a huge fan of editing. I like editing takes time, and I just like to get things done. So my monetization strategy, primarily affiliate marketing, major income through affiliates and niches like survival gear, sustainable farming, cryptocurrency, even real estate, or a real estate agent that specializes in sustainable, finding land for sustainable lifestyles. Also to health, wellness products, and off-grid living. So it's a lot of content there. It's right down my alley, and so affiliate marketing to begin with will be my primary source of income, and it's going to take a little while to build. Now I will be promoting the likes of Live Good and those sorts of things. But I think, of course, we need to supplement. We need to take care of our health. So Live Good will get a mention, and so down the track, I'll be looking at potentially membership fees, access to content and community features, workshops and courses, fees for specialized educational sessions, merchandise. And so, I do see that if once we get a bit of traction, people might want to walk around with a T-shirt with the Outthinkers written on the front of it or back, whatever, or a cap. So I'll probably start with that pretty soon, but definitely to begin with affiliate marketing, and you've got to sort of put the horse before the cart. I've got to get the content up there first, and there's a website to be built and all sorts of things to be done. Now, I'll tell you about that. I'm a little bit fortunate in that I started a web development company here on the Sunshine Coast over 20 years ago, and a friend of mine now has taken. We took that over a long time ago. I'm very proud of him. He's done very, very well. It's called Suncoast Web Solutions. He's a very good friend. So if you are looking for website development, I highly recommend it. But because I've known Neil so long, I'm going to pitch a proposal to him and say, I'm not going to, don't know what the percentage will be, but I'll give him potentially offer him a share of this business on the proviso that he takes care of all my web development, which is quite involved with the web development in this case. This is more like a news site. You have to have a really good banner management system. Of course, we'll have an email system, autoresponder system, which won't be built in. That won't be Neil's responsibility. I know which one I'm going to go with. And I'm trying to put all the foundations in place so that I'm going to get no sort of surprises down the track. So if I want to, for example, expand the website and template it up to make it, change it up a lot, I want to make sure that the website's foundations are in place, and that can easily be done. But one of our priorities will be to get a website up, or at least a capture page. So marketing and promotion, website central hub, all content featuring articles, videos, podcasts, and ebooks, workshops, webinars, and community forums. So the website will most definitely be my island, my hub. I own it, and I'll be sending all traffic, or for the most part, the traffic to the website, or at least a landing page. So my mainstream platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, this is for appropriate content. Obviously, you've got to be very careful what you post there. I don't want to be kicked off as I want to use that for a traffic source to my website. Alternative media channels that are uncensored content like Rumble, BitChute, Brighteon, Truth Social, and Telegram. Rumble is questionable. I'm thinking that I was going to make that my main alt media platform, but knowing who owns it and who's involved with it, that could change. You know, Rumble could overnight become a censored platform. So BitChute's a consideration, but you know they're trying to take them down. I'm sort of leading towards Brighteon as being my primary platform for video and that sort of stuff, and then I'll try and feed it out from there to the other platforms and into yeah. But the reason I choose Brighteon, it's owned by a guy called Mike Adams who owns Natural News. He's a truther. He's got balls bigger than steel, and most importantly, I trust him, and I believe he'll fight to hell and back to you know, if they tried to take his platform away. And of course, Truth Social. I mean, so that's a Trump thing. So who knows? And then Telegram for sort of groups and chat and that sort of stuff, where we can say what we want to say without fear of being taken down. Having said that, I just heard the UK Prime Minister the other day talk about trying to get rid of Telegram. At least they call us all terrorists over there, which is just crazy. And then, of course, email marketing, newsletters for updates, exclusive content, and event invites. Search engine, talking about marketing and promotion, so search engine optimization, which is huge, but understand that search engine optimization takes time, and that your website, there's lots and lots and lots goes into search engine optimization. I used to be a guru when it came to search engine optimization years and years ago, but it's changed so much now. So I'll be, for the most part, just supplying the content, and I'll let Neil's team take care of the search engine optimization. So scaling and growth, continuous feedback and collection to refine services, expand offerings, new content types, workshops and partnerships as the community evolves, invest in marketing, enhance marketing efforts to broaden reach and impact, and then measuring its success, of course, engagement metrics, revenue metrics, and impact metrics. So I'll just read it. The strategic plan for the Outthinkers is designed to help individuals awaken and connect with valuable resources, thus enabling them to break free from the societal constraints and achieve sustainable lifestyle. Integration of both mainstream and alternative media ensures that extensive reach while maintaining content authority and integrity. So the next step, of course, is to go through the content pillars. I'm going to make that another video because I'm sort of still working on it. But this, you know, gives me all the information I need to go forward and create those content pillars. This is quite broad with regards to potential, you know, niches, if you like. There's lots and lots of opportunities with regards to the number of niches. I'll be targeting just 2 or 3 to begin with, and attracting people who are, you know, really honing in on the niche. But I can broaden as and when I want to. So my next step will be to go through and you know, figure out all my social media captions, making sure that they're all in line with each other. And yeah, so as you can see, I really sort of put a lot of work into this. It's not finished, but it's a good feeling. And like I said earlier in this video, it doesn't matter where you're starting with this, where you're at in the whole process, but it's so important that you go through those 6 steps, and you cannot jump from, you know, step 1 to step 4 without doing step 2 and 3. It just doesn't work. And like my coach said, he said, I'm unnegotiable on this. This is this is the process that everybody must take. It doesn't matter what you're building, what you need to, but you need to know what you're building and why. And I totally agree. And I'm not an analytical person, so going through this process was quite difficult for me. Everybody wants to get started and start playing around in Canva or whatever, and creating content, but yeah, I can't emphasize this enough. So, it might sound a bit hard, but if you haven't gone through step one, like my coach would say, don't bother talking to me until you go through step one. And it's that simple. So, guys, I hope you got some gold nuggets out of this. I hope it filled in a few gaps. Of course, like always, if you've got any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm here to help, here to assist, and everything else remains the same, except I'm going on a slightly different direction, and love to get your feedback. Have an awesome day, and I'll talk to you soon.